the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority monthly meeting. Today is July 19th. First item on the agenda is public comment. Vicki, has anyone signed up to speak? No speakers today. Let's go ahead and quickly do a review of the meeting, review and approval of the meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look at those? Mr. Byrne, motion, and can I get a second on the meeting minutes? Second from Ms. Morgan. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda is Devin.
Councilwoman Wilson. Today I'm talking about the SANJO retention and expansion project. Here are the disclosures for SANJO. And disclosures for the Miller Group, which is developer of this project. About SANJO, they moved to Virginia Beach in July of 2016, and they are from Barcelona, Spain. Their primary customer is steel. And this is a recruitment, a business retention and expansion, and they also are a key player in our recruitment in the international markets, specifically Spain. This is their current location. This is at 465 Progress Lane. Project history: the Miller Group developed and leased the building to SANJO on 4.16 acres of land. They've built phase 1. They are currently working to build phase 2 that will be delivered in March or April of 2024. They retained lot 2 for SANJO expansions beyond phase 2. And SANJO, like I said previously, moved to Virginia Beach in 2016. Their phase 1 was 27,000 square feet, and phase 2 will be roughly 24,000 square feet. This is an overview of what this looks like. So you'll see that in the front, the current SANJO facility is in black. The red star is where phase 2 will be built. That is on the same parcel of phase 1. And then we have lot 2 in the back. That's where future SANJO phases 3 and beyond. And you'll see right below it here is a under construction spec building by the Miller Group that will be their neighbor. This is an overview so you can kind of see where it lands on with the neighborhood lying behind it and where this will fall on the properties. So to make this deal happen, we are suggesting and recommending a land swap with the Miller Group. So the Miller Group would get 12 acres of land in the Corporate Landing Park right here, valued at roughly $2.4 million. That's $200,000 an acre. In exchange, the Development Authority would hold on to lot 2. So the Development Authority would take control of lot 2, right there in the back. That's with the big X. That's valued at $1.2 million. It's 6.16 usable acres of land. So to make this deal happen with the retention of SANJO, we would do the land swap with the Miller Group, provide SANJO 3 5-year options that would be on lot 2 that I'm referring to the Development Authority would take control of, and then do an EDIP for SANJO. Currently they have $232,000 remaining on a previous EDIP. We would close that out and do a new EDIP to give a whole fresh clean slate. For the land swap, there's a valuation variance of $1.2 million. So the Miller Group and BBDA would do an agreement of the land swap with the difference made up as follows. There'd be a cash contribution by the Miller Group of $348,000. The remaining $900,000 value differential would be applied to the cost of construction for SANJO phase 2. This value differential gives SANJO the lease rate that makes it economically feasible for them to remain in Virginia Beach. Here is the EDIP summary. It's pursuant to Part A, which is a business retention expansion. The total capital investment is $9 million. They will retain 10 jobs, create 40 new jobs at an average wage of $60,000 to $70,000. The EDIP would be for $350,000 based on $4.5 million in personal property, $1 million in the specialty build out, and the 40 new jobs and retaining 10 jobs. For the proposal terms, the City of Virginia Beach Development Authority would transfer a corporate landing parcel of the 12 plus or minus acres to the Miller Group. The remaining $900,000 valuation differential would be applied towards Sanyo Phase 2. Greece not otherwise transfer or sell Lot 2 for 15 years. That's the 3 5-year options for Sanyo. This is Sanyo's option to exercise. It also aligns with the lease term of 15 years that they are agreeing to with the Miller Group currently. And the option terminates if Sanyo does not expand. Agrees to convey Lot 2 to 465 Progress Lane LLC at its then appraised value for Sanyo phases. So currently 465 Progress Lane is an affiliate of the Miller Group. That is the holder of the lease. That lease may stay with the Miller Group. It could also be bought out by Sanyo, or Sanyo could have a different developer buy it out. So we wanted to make that differential here. Again, this is all based on Sanyo's option to expand and then award Sanyo EDIP for Phase 2. The Miller Group would transfer Lot 2 ownership to the Development Authority, pay $348,000, develop Sanyo Phase 2 at 5.4 development costs. That is the development fee lease rate that we've been working to get to for Sanyo. Agrees to comply with corporate landing guidelines and deliver Phase 2 by March or April of 2024. Sanyo would do a Phase 2 expansion of roughly 23,000 square feet. They get a new lease term of 15 years, and the estimated total development cost would be 3.2. After what we're calling the VPA contribution of the $900,000 value differential, it becomes $2.3 million. Our recommendation is 3 different actions today: approving the land transaction with the Miller Group, approve applying the value variance to Phase 2 lease, and approving the EDIP for $350,000 towards just Phase 2.
Thank you, Devin. Any questions for Devin? Thank you for breaking down the presentation. I think that you did an excellent job of explaining what is somewhat complicated.
And Madam Chair, may I ask
Sure.
a quick question? We were so fortunate to have our vice mayor join us in Spain a few weeks ago, where she actually got to meet with the company. And so, Vice Mayor, I hate to put you on the spot, but I just wondered if you'd like to make a comment about the company and the team you met.
Well, first of all, it was an amazing trip, money and time well spent. And no one could be any more proud of our team than I was, and all of you would be as well. They put together a reception the day of the major event that we were at the football club with the Prime Minister. And we had, besides our team, including Aaron Rouse and myself, there were at least 30 people who came business people who really came to talk to us some more, to check us out. And the Europeans are very social. And, it's one of those things you don't just dive into talking business. You have to get to know each other a little bit. So it was a great turnout for this event, and they did a super job on that. And the exciting thing is that Sanyo has also been sort of like an ambassador for us, because they've talked us up to the other companies, which nothing's better than when you get a referral and a compliment from a third party. So in September, I think we're going to be pretty busy. Isn't that right, Taylor? We have at least 5 companies coming from that area to check us out, to consider opening offices here and businesses. So it was pretty amazing. And that evening, there was a major event that, I don't know how you did it, but Aaron and I were sitting at the head table with the Prime Minister. There were 4 people between me and the Prime Minister at dinner. And we got to talk to him and the mayor of Barcelona, and is it the governor or the
governor of Catalonia? Yes, ma'am.
Governor of Catalonia. And so we got to really meet all of these people, and this was a major event for smaller type businesses, which this is kind of what we're attracting. So our team just did an incredible job working with all of this. And I also want to give a shout out to Paige Fox, because she had come in from Manchester, and she had been out there I don't know if it was a symposium or exactly what it was, but she was there with businesses for wind products. And she was the only representative from the entire East Coast of the United States there meet with all these companies. And, you know, we do have an office in England as well. And so I think we're going to be getting some good businesses coming out of that as well. So we're on the international, we're right there. And I don't think anybody in the region is doing anywhere near the international business that we are. So super proud of our team. And it was really nice to meet the people who are over there that we don't get to see. Laura, where's Laura? Laura was there, and she did a super job as well. And we all had a really good time, and we had a little bit of kava. But we paid for that. That was not on taxpayer dollars with our kava. But it was really, really great.
That's great. And Devin, what other opportunities, I assume SANJO has other opportunities in other states that are probably competing to try to
Yes,
get.
so we were competing against other states that were looking to get them to relocate. And so making this deal happen allows them to stay in Virginia Beach and expand in Virginia Beach.
And Madam Chair, specifically, those are the states of Florida and Tennessee.
And they're also helping us bring more businesses in, so they're going beyond just looking out for themselves.
Sounds great. All right, any other questions for Devin?
I'll move it.
All right, so I was just going to say the chair will entertain a motion on, and it looks like we need to vote on these separately, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the first would be a request for the approval of the resolution authorizing the land swap between the Miller Group and SANJO.
I'll move it.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second from NECA. All in favor of that, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. And the second item for the SANJO expansion is a request for the approval of a resolution authorizing EDIP Part A award in the amount of $350,000 to SANJO to retain them and help them expand in Virginia Beach.
So I'll move.
Got a motion for Mr. Byrne and a competition for a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you all. Next item on the agenda is a review of financial statements.
Good morning, Madam Chair, board members, and Madam Vice Mayor Wilson, and visitors. I'm presenting today the financial and monthly cash flows for the period of June 2022. Operating account summary. June 2022, the beginning cash of June 1st, 2022 is $4,289,290. Significant cash receipts, the grand total. What I've done is I have summarized the totals for you and itemized what makes that total, make up the total. So our grand total of significant cash receipts was $41,104. Significant cash disbursements, I did the same thing, I summarized the totals, but I itemized everything for you to see what we expensed. And that grand total was $18,131. And let's continue with the disbursements. And our ending cash for the operating account summary is as of June 30th, 2022, is $4,305,612. I'm moving along to incentive and initiative account summary for June. The beginning cash as of June 1st, 2022 is $3,590,200. Significant cash receipts, our grand significant cash receipt total was $215,696. I'll also itemize that so that you're able to see what we received. Significant disbursements, the grand total of significant cash disbursements was $535,900. $935. Continuation, and that's, they are itemized as well as disbursements. Our ending cash balance as of June 30th, 2022 is $3,269,841. We have the EDIP grant summary reporting as of June. I provided a packet for everyone to see the actual, the beginning BBDA EDIP grant balance was 2.732 million. And we had expired or closed EDIPs for the month of June, $42,000. Also, for the new approved grants for BBDA, for the month of June, we had $74,000, leaving us a ending grant funds for the available in June is $2.7 million. Madam Chair, that
Trina, does that include the closed out SANJO EDIP that we just voted on, or will that show up next month?
that will reflect the next month, not this month.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Katrina? All right, we'll roll straight into the budget for next year.
Okay, and I'm also today presenting the fiscal year 2023 annual operating budget. Okay, for the fiscal year 2023, and you can see the comparisons, and I have footnotes as well. Last year, we had the economic EDIP funds directly provided to us, but they are being held, or they're in the CIP with the city now. So this year, we do not have that in the fiscal year 2023, you'll notice. So our revenues that we're anticipating for 2023 fiscal year is $296,125. And moving along, this is our expenditures layout. We had a few things that changed slightly. You'll notice that for our architectural and engineering fees, they decreased slightly, bringing that balance down. So our total for corporate land and area is $601,423 anticipated. The administrative cost, we're looking at $111,700. We have BBDA events, expenditures, we're looking at $74,850. And looking at grants and special projects, $80,000. Going down, we have the total authority operating expenses. We're anticipating $807,973. So we have a shortfall, but that shortfall will be covered by our operating fund balance that will absorb the cost of our anticipated shortfall. And as I stated pretty much last year, we received the $2,051,000 for the EDIP program. And this year, that money will, as a result, it will remain in the CIP with the city. So we will have the opportunity to draw down those funds as we expense. Okay? And then, of course, I noted the shortfall and how we would be funding that shortfall. Okay. Right now, as of June 30th, 2022, the reconciliation, we have unrestricted cash balance is $4,305,611.76. Additional cash restricted balance is $7,395,924.71. So today, we're asking if we, based on what was presented here today, the fiscal year 2022 annual operating budget, we're seeking approval for that. And of course, the activities, we're looking at the funds for VDA annual operating activities throughout the fiscal year. And as I mentioned, those funds for the EDIP appropriation will remain on the city CIP. And then we can draw down as expenses occur. Madam Chair?
Okay, any questions? I think in the last slide you said fiscal year 2022, but you meant 2023.
2023, that is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Any questions on the budget for next year? So there's just a difference, Taylor, this year in how the funds that we're getting from the city are being sort of allocated to our budget.
That's right. So, and really what we're doing here is we're just returning to the way we always did it before. Excuse me, somewhere in the last 2 years, a decision was made by the then sort of deputy city manager in my space and our city manager then to basically put our EDIP funds within our operating budget where we've always held them basically in a capital improvement account, just so that we could run them year over year. We like that a little better. We think it's an easier way for us to track the money without being bound to a fiscal year and having to do carryovers and things of that nature. Especially as you all have asked us to sort of get into the space of trying to build some fund balance there so that we can participate in larger opportunities as they become available. And so this budget takes us back to sort of our traditional operating framework that we like. And also, I should note, he's not here today, but if the city auditor was here, I think he would tell you he likes this better too. And so we do think this is a better operating framework.
All right, any questions on the budget for next year? Do we have a motion on the budget for next year?
Motion.
Got a motion from Luther, and a second? Second for Mr. Standing. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item on the agenda pertains to Town Center.
Thank you.
Thank you. A request from Mr. Stiles.
Next to the Circuit City building, which is over there. The city's emergency management folks have asked to store some personal protective equipment there. Technically, it's your building. It is maintained by the city and by city staff, but we thought we should at least bring it to you and ask your permission, even though maybe we already did it last week.
And the building has been empty for a while.
Building is empty, and this is a short-term use. It would not in any way impact should you decide to do an RFP or take some other step.
How long, is it 6 months?
They think 6 months, but it's not defined because it's no people. It's just some stuff.
Storage.
Madam Chairman?
Yes.
My experience is that once you let somebody in the building, they never leave, so
I understand.
how are you gonna get them out?
It's the city. It's not a third party. And
So if this is what I think it is, and this is just PPE, right?
Yes.
So great question. I happen to know what this is. So this is surplus PPE that is not growing. This is basically, you just need a temporary location while we complete distribution of this. So what I understand, there's nothing coming behind this, right?
not that they've told us.
Yeah, so I'll clean that up with the,
So when we need the building and they won't move, we're gonna put the PB in your garage, right?
I guess so. But no, I'm happy to have that conversation. So Tom Nicholas, sort of, the guy that's been our facilities manager the whole time I was here, has retired. But I'm happy to talk. We have a long tenured employee there, Barry Shockley, who I'm sure is running this project. I'll convey this to Barry.
So moved.
I think we're bidding this space out, or we're gonna go through a process of rebidding this particular site anyway, right?
We're ready to not own this anymore. Yes, ma'am.
It's been a challenge as an empty building.
Yes, many times.
All right, stay tuned on that. I think we might have had a motion from Mr. Standing.
Second.
Second from Gother. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. The next item is also Alex.
This pertains to the new Hampton Inn being constructed, again, right next to Block 12, the former Dick's building.
Next to the sign that says we need a liver.
Exactly.
That's the one.
Exactly. Last summer, you approved their use of up to 145 parking spaces in your parking system. They're not reserved spaces, it's just for zoning purposes. They have to show that they have access to spaces. They have been able to redesign the building and add 20 more rooms, would just like permission to use up to 20 more parking spaces. This is the only real public incentive this whole project is getting.
Well, they're not reserved, they're just anywhere.
They're not reserved, it's just,
In the system.
Anywhere in town.
it is a function of zoning. It allows them to qualify that they have the off-site parking necessary. They do not need to be reserved spaces.
Sounds pretty straightforward. Anyone want to move the request for approval of a resolution authorizing the Hampton Inn to use an additional 20 parking spaces here in Town Center?
So moved.
I have a question.
Okay.
So what's the future development around there need for it? Are we committing long-term to free parking spaces for somebody? I don't understand that.
So, you may take this one? Sure.
Build a Hampton Inn.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. This is an out parcel. This is the little postage stamp parcel next to the BMP. I think was it a limousine service at
It
one
had
point?
an Arby's emblem on it.
An Arby's. It's a very small parcel. So this is a remnant parcel that someone is trying to develop. And so we don't believe this impacts anything around it. Back when this deal first came forward, we did a complete rework of the parking study to ensure that this would not adversely impact parking anywhere else in the system, and it was a requirement that this parcel come into all of the town center sort of additional taxes, the SSD in particular, as well as the tip, so that they would be contributing to the maintenance of the parking in the district as well. So this will work just like any other building in town center that uses the parking, and they'll have to pay all the fees that the other buildings pay as well.
Gotcha.
Nailed it.
Yes, another hotel. Still looking for a motion. Got a motion from NECA.
Second.
And a second from Penny. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is, once again, Alex.
I'll take this one.
Okay, Tim.
Give Alex a break. And I do want to, thanks to Alex and to the team. I wasn't sure that I would make it back into town for the meeting this morning. And so just quickly, just want to thank Alex for taking those two items, and also Devin, who did a really nice job with the SANJO item. Thank you for sort of pinch hitting for me this morning. I appreciate that. As it relates to this one, this is a fairly straightforward item. As you all know, we're holding we've been going through the process of developing the 12 acres that is, I guess, starts at the corner of General Booth and Corporate Landing Way. You have rough general terms with Michael Siphon, but however, before one of the questions that came forward last time we discussed this was to ensure that the mix of tenants that we were going to see there was consistent with what you all wanted. It was really a net gain for that part of the city, and not something that would have come just on its own to any sort of vacant parcel. To complete that process, Mr. Siphon's asking for the ability to have an option, just so that he can demonstrate to potential tenants that are interested in that part of the city that he has control of the real estate. So this is a request to do that. It would be to give him a Alex, I believe, non-binding option. We've still got approval rights on it that would.
We would have approval rights over the anchor tenant unless it is a new-to-market upscale grocery product.
That's right, and so the idea is this would be an option that would allow him to go and perfect his plan and then come back to you for formal approval. And so that's all we're asking here. And Alex, the term on this is 5?
1 year with 1 year extension.
So it's a 1 with 1, excuse me. Sorry, like I said, I got into town last night about 9 o'clock. I'm a little punchy this morning, I apologize for that. So it's a 1 year option with 1 year to renew.
So moved.
We've got a motion,
Second.
and I will be abstaining from the vote on this item as my firm does some work for this particular developer, although I'm not on this item. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, and I'll abstain. That motion carries. Economic Development Investment Program, we've got a request.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Vice Mayor Wilson. Welcome. Yes, I will be presenting to you EDIP request for Controller Innovative Systems and Technologies. First, I would like to acknowledge Mr. Joe Gilardi, who is the owner. Welcome, thanks for coming. These are the disclosures. The company was established in 2011, headquartered in Virginia Beach. They're currently located at 900 Commonwealth Place. This company provides system analysis, training services, engineering solutions. They develop technology applications to the Department of Defense. Some of their government partners include ranging from 149th Fighter Wing to U.S. Navy Space and Warfare Systems Command. They're currently they're looking to move to 468 Viking Drive. Project overview is, this is an expansion. They're looking from 900 Commonwealth Place, which they currently occupy 975 square feet, to 468 Viking Drive to occupy 4,535 square feet. So they're busting out of the seams there. The capital investment is $120,000. For jobs, they're going to retain 18 employees. They're looking to hire 40 new employees with an average salary of $95,000, excluding benefits. The recommendation for the EDIP grant is for $85,000, pursuant to Part A of the policy, and meets the criteria of C3, $4,000 of EDIP funds. This does meet our target sectors of technology, headquarters, expansion, and retention. Any questions?
Any questions?
Can you back up just a minute? I couldn't quite read it that fast. No.
This one?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Go for it. Right. Retain FTEs. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll move it.
Second. We've got a motion for Mr. Byrne and a second for Ms. Morgan. All in favor of that item, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Any items from any commissioners? We've got. All right. UGA members, I'll just mention that Alex and Bill Brunke and I are working on revising the policy, the EDIP policy as far as job retention, to line it up more closely with the state economic development policies. So stay tuned for more information on that.
And Madam Chair, the awards written, the EDIP, though the policy hasn't been updated, we're going to track those as Mr. Barkley requested last month. The resolutions will be reflective.
So they'll be, the way we're going to be tracking those going forward is going to be, like I said, it's going to line up with what the state's doing. Taylor, did you have anything else to?
Two quick things. First, thank you Mayor, for the kind words. It's always great for us if we have when we're able to take our elected officials with us and sort of showcase the good work that our team here does, and so grateful for everything the Vice Mayor just said. Last week, I was fortunate enough to get to speak with the current and past presidents of HR Acre. I want to extend thanks to our own chair, who is a past president of HR Acre, but who was there with me and not only participated in the conversation, but was a great help. And so I thought the beach showed very well in that meeting. And so just thanks to our chair for being there with me. And I thought it went really well. One more quick thing, something that many of you know, we've been working for some months now on an amendment to the zoning ordinance that would allow for us to cite battery storage facilities here in Virginia Beach. And those are specifically needed for the deployment of the offshore wind industry so that we can store power and detain it on its basically and release that energy to the grid at a pace that the grid can sustain, but also give us the ability to hopefully offload some of that power here for businesses and industrial users that would need or could benefit from renewable energy. Thanks in no small part to the leadership of our Vice Mayor and others on council, we were able to get that approved last week after a fairly lengthy process for us, and we appreciate the council for that. We always want to make sure that we've got council the completed staff work that they need to make the right decision for the community. And again, I just want to express thanks and gratitude to our council members, and specifically the Vice Mayor for her help in putting the votes together to get that approved. It's a big step forward for our community. For members of the public who might not be sort of familiar with what this is, on the low side, these are $100 million taxable investments. Many of the ones that we're talking about are $300 million plus. Taxable investments don't come with a lot of jobs, but that's quite an addition to the tax roll and provides great stability to the real estate tax rate. And so thanks to our city council for leadership on that. And I'll go ahead and telegraph to you all here, there's probably some action coming fairly soon for this body to consider regarding sort of a couple of projects in that space. So thank you very much.
And it's a critical component of offshore wind that we have spots to be able to store the energy that's coming.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is just to give you all a quick sort of highlight. We've completed sort of identification and most of the negotiation with Dominion Energy around what's effectively a 19-mile transmission easement through our city, some on Navy land, some on city land, and then some on privately held real estate. And so, yes, the next step is to determine where this power, how close we can get to substations on that line to obtain this power on its way. And it is a critical step.
Thank you, and thank staff for putting in all the effort to get that done. I know how important that is. All right, any other items for the good of the group? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to recess into a closed session pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711A Code of Virginia as amended for the following purposes: prospective business or industry, discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5. Public held property, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or of the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A3. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion from Gunther and a second?
Second.
And a roll call vote, Vicki.
David Byrne,
Yes.
he's not here, William Lumpy is out, Nneka Chiazor,
Yes.
Kevin Franklin is out, Penny Morgan,
Yes.
Lisa Murphy.
Yes.
Don Parker is out, Mike Standing,
Yes.
Joe Strange is out, Gunther Weisenseal.
Yes.